And we're live. The Hangout is live. Welcome to the Saturday After Hours Lobby Chat. This is Jess Dano stepping in for G on a Saturday night. Woo! I'll be here for a little while, and then it'll be up to the rest of you on good behavior.
If you don't mind me mentioning, Sean, I call it, this incident, I would like to do a video on that, if you don't mind.
Would absolutely love it. Any attention we can bring to this. And the incident, if...
So I have two videos to make tonight. One is about this, and then the other one is the Tennessee incident where there was an article I saw on gun channels where this in Tennessee, this guy came in to see to a robbery where his friend was being robbed, and he shot the guy. Cops found it to be justified, but this article was making it sound like the monster was the guy who shot, who defended his friend, and not the criminal. He was actually putting a lot of sympathy towards the criminal.
Actually, I heard about that. It's the guy that was robbing the place. It's his mother that's trying to push forward that it was an unjust shooting.
Of course. Well, yeah, we got the kid was 18 years old, okay, but he had a real gun, okay? It's like, and he was, at the time that he was, he was shot, he was actually physically pushing his friend, who was a female. I know that doesn't really matter, but, it's, a man's gut reaction is to defend the girl, kind of reaction, and shot the guy who was physically pushing around behind the counter, and the police saw that was fine. There was threat involved, and the gun was being pointed. The thing is, and I've mentioned before in my previous video, especially during the Zimmerman Martin case, is that the family members do not give a damn what their kids do or did. They just care that they're they're dead, and the rest of the world is at fault.
No, of course, and look, anytime someone dies, it's a tragedy. Mm-hmm. Now, some tragedies people precipitate upon themselves. And no mother ever admitted that her child was a monster. Adolf Hitler's mother never said, my kid was a bad person.
Yeah.
You will always hear the families of even criminals say that, he didn't deserve to get what he got. Except with very rare occasion. Occasionally you'll hear somebody say, yeah, my brother was nuts, and, well, he brought this on himself. My son was nuts, he brought this on himself. But you will hear that very, very rarely. Most of the time it was, oh, well, he was robbing people, and he had a gun in his hand and was pointing it at him, but he didn't deserve to get shot for it because he wasn't really going to hurt nobody.
Oh, my God, yeah, I hear that all the time.
Bullshit.
Yep.
You point a gun at me, you point a gun at my family, you point a gun at my friends, you take out a knife and you point it at my wife, you're going to die, or I'm going to die trying to take you down.
Yeah, but when he successfully kills another person, that becomes, well, as long as it's not my son.
And honestly, very honestly, I hope if I'm, ever in another self-defense scenario, that I hope that if I actually have to employ a firearm, that I don't have to kill whoever it is. I hope I can just neutralize the threat without them dying. But if that is the result of their action, it is what it is. I mean, it's a bad thing. I mean, no one ever wants to take a life, but sometimes it's just what is necessary to stop the threat.
Daniel, do you have any other topics? The topics you want to put on the forefront?
It's a lobby chat. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, this is lobby chat. Whatever you want to talk about, let it rip.
No, this is you're the host, so I thought you have something to want to talk about too. But I'm just trying to make sure that I don't want to nobody's hijacking the chat or anything like that.
Nope, not at all.
But yeah, that's the one thing. I already did a great video on that, but the mic I bought was good in one thing, but not the other, and I was very silent. So I got a brand new microphone, so hopefully that works.
I hear you just fine.
Yeah, and
That's better than normal.
some of you guys enjoy. You're living in the northern states. Are you guys enjoying it? This is your time to shoot. This is my time to stay indoors and enjoy my air conditioning.
Not today. It wasn't a good time to go shooting.
Oh, yeah?
Really muggy and
Tomorrow
Yeah.
will be better.
yeah, it was off and on rain. It was only the northern half, at least for me, northern half of my county and the neighboring county where the shooting range is. But yeah, not today was not a good day to go shooting. But it is this year. We had a perfect day for Friday. Thursday.
Yeah, for me, anything below 90% humidity and 90 degrees is a good day to go shooting.
I suppose so.
150
Well-
now. Even though it's dry, I still sweat like bullets, and it's not comfortable out there. So no, this summer I will be mostly staying indoors until I have school anyway. So it's it's hard to find some free time right now. So I am going to wait until October until rounds fly again. But that means I'll have to binge reload.
I just gotta ask Sean a quick question. So, about how many months out of the year is that for you?
11?
For what? For who?
You get to shoot 1 month a year. Okay, great.
For
Yeah,
who?
no, the rest of the time it's just, you wear a bandana to the range to keep the sweat out of your eye. And no, it really only over the past few weeks has gotten to the unbearably hot stage. And we'll suffer through that it basically runs from the beginning of hurricane season to the end of hurricane season in September, I guess.
End of September, early October.
Which also starts our legislative session, which will be another hurricane. Nope, I turned on the camera. Hi.
I do have to say, coming back from Florida to Wisconsin, after spending a week down there, at the end of September, the start of October, I get home and the high temperatures was in like the 50s, but no humidity. I was freezing. Took me a day to get used to it, but then I was like, hell yeah, this is a lot better.
Well, of course, I've been out in the middle of summer too, Nevada, Arizona, California desert, stuff like that. And everybody says, well, it's a dry heat, so it's not so bad. And it's true. Okay, yes, I can get out there and, when I was in the military, go run PT and stuff, and oh, look, I can get a bunch of oxygen into my lungs because it's a dry heat, so, you're processing oxygen better. You're not quite so sweaty. Your clothes are drying off a lot faster as you sweat. But then you realize that, you get in a car and you're driving down the road and you're like, oh, I'm going to roll down the window for a moment. And that dry heat turns into a blast furnace.
I can imagine that.
Just like if you're on a motorcycle doing it.
Now here's another thing about dry heat too. The people say is a dry heat's okay. Mostly in the shade here, because that's when dry heat is the most comfortable. Is when you're in the shade.
And you don't have any shade unless it's man-made.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, like we have a lot of man-made shades over here. We have a lot of places we can, duck under. But yeah, those are the people who did that because humid heat will follow you everywhere. That is not shielded by air conditioning.
Yeah, it's rare that we get above 100 here. I mean, it's extremely rare. But anytime it gets over 90, it's always with that 90, high humidity, 90% humidity or more. But when it gets above 100, it's unbearable.
And dry heat will actually dehydrate you quicker because it evaporates. The sweat evaporates so quick you don't realize you're sweating.
Yep.
I'll take dry heat.
No, absolutely true. I mean, dry heat is definitely a little bit more comfortable, but it will also kill you faster.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I realize that, but I'll still take the dry heat. I'd rather be a little more comfortable as I'm dying.
He'd rather die faster than die slower.
It's a little bit like slowly boiling frog.
This what do you call this? Water is very very big commodity over here. It's like, yeah, it's another thing too. I go out in the range. I bring a lot of, I go alone. It's usually a lot of people go to the range with a bunch of friends. Like, yeah, let's go out to the range together. That means they can carry more equipment. They can carry a lot, like ice chests full of freaking cold stuff to drink. And I go alone out there, and I really don't feel like carrying a lot of, even especially like even like a small like lunch, you know, lunch box with cooler a lunch box with me, because and my water will get hot out there as I go along.
Yeah, well, you can always do this, Chris. You can get a bag of ice and just cut some holes in it and then stick your water in there so it stays cool in the ice.
That would be a puddle in about the first half hour.
Well, you can throw it in the cooler, too.
I know, as I mean, in a cooler, like I have to carry a cooler with me. That's a lot of stuff I already got to carry, though. I need to do a video of this is what I carry to the range with me, and I'm just gonna do one gun. Okay.
Well, Chris, I will say that.
The best thing you can do is acclimatize to wherever you live. We go out to the desert and do training and be out there for a couple of months, and even though it was like what I would consider now oppressively hot, it was okay when you're spending all of your time outdoors out there because you got used to it. You got your body acclimatized to it. Your body will adapt. When we become soft and squishy and sit in our houses that run around about 74 degrees all day, and then we walk outside and it's 90 degrees outside, we feel like we're going to die. When you work outdoors all day and spend all of your time outdoors, that 90 degrees doesn't feel so bad, and then you walk into your 74 degrees house and go, ooh, crank up the AC to 80 degrees because I'm more used to being outside than I am to inside.
Well, I'm sorry, Sean, but you feel like you're going to die as soon as, even if you're acclimatized to that weather, you still are going to feel like you're dying as soon as you go from an air-conditioned store and you step out that door. You feel like you're going to die within the first 3 breaths.
This is true. No matter how good the acclimatization, you spend 20 minutes in a store at 74 degrees, and then you walk outside, it just hurts for the first few minutes. Of course, now I work. I work in an office, and my office is actually at home. I get out and drive my truck around sometimes just so I can get away from the house. And it's just, I've become soft and squishy, and 90 degrees outside and 90% humidity hurts me. Didn't used to when I was stationed at Fort Benning and spent a lot of time as an infantryman outdoors. The process of going from indoors from outdoors, even back then it's like, oh man, it kind of sucks out here. And 20 minutes later, it's like, it still sucks, but it's okay. Now it's just like, oh man, I have trouble walking across the parking lot.
Well, you know what? You can have You can have hour 40 below with 98% humidity, and I'll take your 100% humidity and 80, 90 degrees.
Yeah, there's a reason that I refuse to live north of Interstate 10.
Hey, Foos, are you there?
Man, I'm one of the weird people. I'm like, I love winter. I don't care if it's cold outside. I spend most of my time inside anyway.
Yeah, G, you can try it.
Okay, if I try it?
Yeah.
I will say that when you get acclimatized to the teens and 0 degree temperature,
I'll turn it off.
And it gets to 30, you're outside in a pair of jeans and a sweatshirt sweating.
Now, I will say this. Well, I'm a little bit dubious of the quote-unquote dry heat. The dry cold is way better than the wet cold.
Yes, it is. Like up here in the winter, like, well, hell, all winter I was working outside with a pair of pants, long sleeve shirt, and coveralls. That's all I wore when it was 40, 50 below Celsius.
I'm very glad you were wearing pants.
I could try wearing shorts, but some bits might get a little cold.
Either or, you still gotta have chapstick on you though.
I'm thinking we should do the kilted to cure cancer thing in like January for the northern states.
Okay.
You gotta remember that famous picture of me that's floating around was taken when it was like negative 20 outside.
Famous picture, were you wearing a kilt?
I was wearing nothing.
Okay, then I don't want to see it.
Exactly.
He was topless.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, I was actually completely nude.
Oh, jeez, I did not want to know that.
That's too much information there.
I only had a pair of tennis shoes on because I didn't want to freeze my feet on the crowd.
That edge.
That was a dare
George
from
Costanza. I was in the pool.
It was a dare from Never Enough Ammo. He dared me to go outside naked and take a picture. And I was out there 5 minutes trying to get a picture of me that didn't show anything below the upper moob level.
You didn't do the whole Silence of the Lamb thing, right?
No.
So, Foos, does that answer in detail your question? I can't hear you if you're talking.
I'm ready.
It might have been a little bit too much detail.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
That's good to know.
All right, so I really want our 3 or 4 viewers to actually look this up. Just do a Google search. The guy's name is George Freeman. Look up George Freeman, Tampa Police Department, and you will see where a Florida Carry member who was at a Florida Carry sanctioned event, one of our open carry fishing events that we've been doing since 2010, at the same place that we've been doing these since 2010, had a police officer attack him from behind, attempted to disarm him, take a gun out of his shoulder holster. The officer was unsuccessful, and damn lucky that our member didn't have full retention training and didn't break his wrist, turn around and shoot him before he could realize that it was a police officer. Our member did, as he was turning, go for his backup gun and was able to stop his draw before completely pulling the gun once he realized it was a police officer.
Yeah, I saw this.
He was attacked while lawfully in Florida. Open carry is generally illegal unless you are doing things like hunting, camping, fishing, at a shooting range, at your own home, at your own place of work, things like that. Our member was standing on a fishing pier with a line in the water, surrounded by fishing gear, at a Florida carry open carry fishing event. The officer detained our member for over an hour. Then, once he realized that there was nothing he could charge him with because he was completely within the law, issued an illegal trespass notice, trespassed him from the city parks, all city parks for 180 days, and from the fishing pier for a full year. Florida Carry right now is raising money, and we've raised enough money to at least go ahead and move forward with this. We are filing a lawsuit against the city of Tampa and the police officer that went after our member just for expressing his First Amendment right to free speech and his right to bear arms.
Wow. Yeah, I heard something about this up here. So I mean, it's pretty much nationwide.
And we haven't really put out the press release on it yet. We've just been kind of staying within the gun community right now. We'll be putting out the press release once we file the case. We're anticipating filing that on Monday. If we don't go ahead and do it tomorrow, but I expect to have the case against the city filed by the end of the day on Monday at the very latest.
Yeah, and I mean it's pretty much going to be an open and shut case. I hope.
What's that, Quirk?
It's in the control. It's in the control room. And there's normally a little arrow you can push down. Push on and it pops down.
Oh,
I'll
share
try to
control?
make in the control room, yeah.
Okay.
But you like make give control a lobby to XXX.
Okay, because I only see two options: share controls and eject.
Yeah, it's share controls.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to start doing that whenever I do the chats that I go to bed on.
Foos, you gonna be here for maybe 2 hours?
No.
Okay.
You'll be here maybe 2 minutes.
You wormed out of that one. Quirk?
You can make multiple people.
I know. That's why I'm asking around.
Yeah, throw one in here. I'll be here for
Okay.
I don't know how long until I fall asleep.
Think of it as like a baton. Is before you leave, then just make sure you hand it to somebody else, if there's anybody left. Okay. So Quirk has now access to control room, which means he also now has access to, what did we learn tonight, ladies, boys, and girls? To turn on your cameras remotely.
Actually, no, I don't. Oh, yeah, I do. Never mind.
Yes, you do.
I don't care. My
I
camera
can't make anybody else a... Well, wait a second. Can I?
No, it's just an awareness. I just don't want people to be surprised.
So you're saying I should put pants back on?
Well, I just don't want somebody to think it's me when, in fact, it could be my co-host.
Only if the camera is pointing at your junk.
I mean, all they're gonna...
If it's pointing at, like with me, it's pointing at the other side of the room, it doesn't matter. I could be over here, but that's naked.
Yeah.
I could turn on.
I think calling it junk is anti-misogynistic, or I think we need to come up with a new word for being anti-male.
Isn't it called feminine?
There's male junk and female junk.
Because, I believe that my wedding tackle is not junk. It is, in fact, quality equipment.
It's your gentleman sausage.
Yes. Yes, my gentleman parts are not junk.
I stole that one from Jeremy Clarkson. Gentleman sausage.
And I'm very excited to hear that he's going to Netflix with the full crew, and the full crew stayed strong and said, no, screw your money. We're going with him because we'll probably make more money anyway.
Oh, they did. I did not hear that. I've been looking like once a month now.
Yes,
For what show?
James May and all them said that no, BBC, we don't care about your millions of dollars that you're offering us. We came together, we're leaving together, and apparently they're working on, or either about to, or have already secured a deal with Netflix to have a Netflix series
That's gonna be
that will
epic.
apparently be better than Top Gear because they won't be tied to BBC rules and broadcast rules because it's not, it's a cable slash, subscription service. So they're going to have carte blanche to do whatever they want, and I guess the Netflix guys are going to put in enough money for them to go wreck supercars still.
That's cool.
I could only imagine how much more perverted the show's going to be now.
I am excited to see this.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
man,
just
it's-
like
I was
that
a
there's going to be
huge
no
fan of
beeps.
Top Gear. Yeah,
God,
all the other spin-off Top Gears, the Top Gear America was horrible.
Oh yeah.
It's still going. That's the sad part.
Seriously?
Yeah.
It's still going?
Yep.
I won't say it was horrible, but it was a cheap copy of the original.
Jeremy Clarkson says no to returning to Top Gear. No to...
There, you just heard it. You're returning to Top Gear. This is
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah, the American Top Gear was like when I first says American is like Top Gear. It's like, oh, I thought they're gonna just rebroadcast from BBC, and I was like,
Oh no, the BBC's like, oh yeah, we're continuing Top Gear, but they're gonna have all new people, and it's
no,
We're gonna have all new people with no chemistry. We're gonna have an asshole race car driver who is basically an asshole.
we're gonna
We're gonna
have
have a
Lindsay
fat,
Lohan.
unfunny guy.
Yeah, we're gonna have Lindsay Lohan, the guy from Fast and Furious, and I don't know, someone with big tits.
Quark?
No, that's a fat guy. I can't remember their names.
Hey, wait, I'm a fat
I'm
guy.
from like New York.
Hey, wait, I'm a fat guy. Maybe I could be on BBC Top Gear. I mean, how much are they paying?
I don't know. They gotta be what? I'm trying to think of their names. Tanner Faust, that's the fucking driver.
Oh, yeah, no.
Oh, what? No, wait. He was doing the U.S. Top Gear thing,
Yeah.
and they're going to bring him to the BBC's Top Gear.
No, I'm talking about the American Top Gear.
Yeah. There was Tanner Faust. There was Squiggy from Lenine Squiggy, and there was fat guy with
The
the
fat
neck.
guy.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's I guess Chris Evans. I think they're talking about for the BBC Top Gear.
Who?
They were from Laverne and Shirley.
If they are making, or if they're going to be bringing Yankees to, sorry for that, if they're bringing Americans to the BBC Top Gear, it is going to be a horrible, horrible show.
That's kind of what that's kind of like the one guy on American Top Gear looked like. Yankee before he lost weight.
What, Clarkson?
No, American Top Gear.
Yeah.
Oh.
The fat guy with the beard. It kind of looked like Yankee before he lost weight.
Yeah.
oh, I see.
Yeah, Chris Evans is kind of like a comedian, talk show type guy.
You know, what's funny is when I first heard that the Top Gear was going to the History Channel, I thought it was going to do a rebroadcast, and I can see it. Oh, I can see it on our channel. It's like, what the fuck are these assholes? It's like two people I don't know, and one two-bit actor from who's only who's I only saw in one movie.
I'll give you this just in case anybody continues watching BBC's Top Gear, which I will admit I will watch to see how much of a failure it is. But I'm trying to bring up Chris Evans. He does like radio and like a talk show, kind of like Tonight Show, stuff like that. So he's kind of a comedy guy.
Just see how they do and in their chronology cars, because the three original guys knew what they were doing. So they made it look like they knew what they were doing. So.
Yeah. And by the way, it's Chris Evans. Do you remember that episode where Captain Slow gets the antique Ferrari and drives it through like a park down this really narrow road and took like 20 minutes to make a right-hand turn onto the highway because of the value?
Yeah, that was James May.
James May.
He drove.
I can't remember the Ferrari drove, but this is Chris Evans. Chris Evans owns that Ferrari. He owns like 10 other Ferraris that are all like different colors, red and white.
Actually, no. 90% of his cars are all painted white.
Yeah, there's a red and then white.
Yeah, I think he's only got 1 or 2 red Ferraris, but the rest of them he all repainted them white.
Yeah, that's Chris Evans. I knew I saw him on the show. I just had to remember where it was. Yeah, but this new one where they're gonna bring in a female, well, I don't care. Unless it's like Kate Upton or something,
Like, what kind of
they could bring in like Danica Patrick, but she just keep running cars into the wall.
Whether it be NASCAR or Indy.
You know what? I'll watch the UK Top Gear for 1 season, see how it rolls, but it's probably going to be completely horrible. So I think
I'll give it 2 episodes.
Yeah. Well, they shortchanged me 1 episode on the new season. It was supposed to be 10 episodes, and they only put 9 out. A little pissed about that, but no, well.
So they didn't even make the whole season? I know they. When did they finish? Like episode 6?
No, they finished at episode 9. It was supposed to be 10 episodes this season. The last one was not their trip to Canada. I think that was the 2nd or 3rd episode.
All right, so Mr. Wright on Gun Channel says Top Gear is dead to me now.
Oh, I don't blame them. It really is. I'm going to go whatever they're going to call, the Netflix version. If they actually get it with Netflix, which it sounds like they are, hell yeah! I'll actually subscribe back to Netflix to do that.
It's probably going to be called like In the Mind of Clarkson.
No, because it's going to have. It is actually going to have May and Hammond.
Oh yeah, it's going to have the 3 Yahoos.
Yeah. It's
still going to be epic.
Yeah. I think it needs to be called Clarkson Punches People in the Face.
Clarkson doesn't give a shit.
Which?
Or Clarkson goes fast.
Which, if you remember, who was that limey bastard on CNN that lost his show that was all gun control-y?
Piers Morgan.
Yeah, see how much he matters? I can't even remember his name. Piers Morgan. Jeremy Clarkson also punched Piers Morgan in the face.
By the way, episode 7 was the last episode they broadcast. They are, I'm just saying, those that missed, basically, they're only going to do, I think, 8. But he actually came back and is finishing off the season since they had all that money. They just got to do the studio stuff. So keep that in mind. They'll actually have it coming out. So they'll be able to see it, the last good Top Gear
Oh, they're gonna have
later this month. Yeah, it'll be the last episode, so it'll be a 75-minute show, which means it'll actually be 75 minutes. So they'll actually make it 8 episodes this year instead of 7.
Yeah. Well, which, you know, full disclosure here with Clarkson being fired. He was fired because he punched the producer in the face because he was pissed off that after a day of shooting, he got back to the hotel, was told that the kitchen was closed, and demanded a hot steak. Got pissed off that he didn't get the hot steak because, well, he was drunk, and punched the producer. It was really kind of inexcusable. You know, he was a jackass.
Yeah, he was a jackass, and May was so much in the bag.
But this is America. He was an entertaining jackass, therefore he gets to get millions more dollars.
Oh, exactly.
We don't mind our divas here.
And I like Sean, not you, Sean, the other Sean out in the Pony, Sean Pony, or whatever. Ponery, there we go. He says, Netflix other show, House of Cars. Instead of House of Cards, it'll be House of Cars. I like that suggestion. Holy crap, I come back and we lost half the people. Yeah. But for those who've never out there who's never seen the American Top Gear, I'm going to put this kindly. They try and take the best stuff from the British Top Gear and make it crap. Almost vehicle by vehicle bad. And it's like, oh, we're going to take these 3 classic cars. And it's like, okay, those exact same 3 classic cars freaking people in the UK took. Like they tried to do, they even did very similar to the thing, snow clearing machine. It was almost identical to the one they made on the BBC version. And sadly, the only reason I ever watched it is because it's better than no Top Gear, but not by much.
I don't know. I never saw the American Top Gear, set a brand new Tesla Roadster on fire.
No.
All right, my dog is eating my macadamia nuts.
Dog's got good taste.
They fell off the desk. I now have a very, very happy Pitweiler.
I don't know. I'm stoked that the 3 orangutans are going to Netflix.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
that's going to bring Netflix a buku load of money, too.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's going to be a big hit for a fucking water pump.
Yeah, they actually had a big increase when they released Daredevil in membership. Same thing when House of Cards came out. They had a spike in new membership, so if they land shows like this that are highly prized, I mean, it's gonna be nice. Once word got out about how good House of Cards was, their numbers started spiking. Only reason I ever dropped Netflix, I ran out of things to watch. I'm not gonna pay to not have anything on there.
How did you run out of stuff to watch? Like you guys have so much. You guys have so much more content. Yeah.
Content.
Well,
And then-
because there's a lot of crap.
There is a lot of crap, and I will have it on while I'm doing work, so I'll be basically listening to it, so I can actually run through a whole season of a show in the background while I'm doing something else.
Like we have less crap than you guys.
But you got Orphan Black.
Eh?
Television show Bob goes crazy about.
The what show?
Orphan Black.
Orphan
Well,
Black.
I didn't even realize that you guys had different TV. I thought you just leased off the U.S.
No. Due to the CRTC or whatever, the Radio Commission and Broadcast of Canada, they're in charge of any content that comes into Canada. So we get half of the crap that you guys do.
Probably the worst half.
And they get them at weird times too. Like they'll get, your typical 10 o'clock show, they'll have it like at 6 o'clock. And they won't be on the same, like we have all the CBS shows. It'll be like, we're going to show you the CBS show and then this NBC show.
Oh, like Daredevil. When was you guys get you guys got to watch like a new episode every week?
No, it all comes out all at once.
All at once? Okay, yeah, we're the same way. I thought it would be like a TV show or a weekly program down there. Because we get crap at all weird times.
Well, you do have some funny shows. Like you got a television show called Seed, which I think is hilarious. Or a sitcom.
What?
It's Seed. I don't know if it's even on air. It was brought to the U.S.
I actually don't watch a lot of TV, so when I hear a new hype out there, it's like, I'll see if it's on Netflix. And if it's not, it's not worth watching. Or I'll buy it off Microsoft.
It was just funny. I had the first 2 seasons where I don't know if they're going any farther. It looks like nope, it's canceled.
Seed, you said?
Yeah. It's just a sitcom. It's just really stupid. But they actually had it on. CW actually brought it down there to the States, and that's where I found out about it. I'm like, I started laughing. They only played the first season, though.
CTV.
It's just different from American television because your Canadian humor is a little different.
Well, we're not as dry as you guys.
Well, what? The best comedy to come out of Canada was what? Strange Brew?
Red Green.
Oh, Red Green.
Strange Brew.
Strange Brew is hilarious. Don't get me wrong, but
Absolutely.
and then I noticed NBC's been doing this a lot. They brought this show, Working the Angles, which is also a Canadian show, which I thought sucked, although I thought that lead actress was hot. Casey Roll is her name. But then again, I'm a sucker for redheads, so. But NBC brought this show, and then they brought this show from frickin' Sweden. That's half in English and half in Swedish. I can't remember the name of the frickin' show.
I don't know. I think what would be the best TV show from up here?
They actually made a Russian Top Gear.
Oh, there's Russian, Germany, Australia.
Australia sucks.
It's better than U.S.
Yes, I agree with you,
Yeah, that's
but
true.
as I said, they can't get any worse than the U.S. version.
Like, I watched the first, the first 10 seasons of Top Gear UK, and then I found Top Gear Australia. I'm like, ooh, okay. It's like, it's not as good, but it's still watchable. And then I seen Top Gear US. I'm like, my brain like melted. I was like,
Of
no.
course, can you imagine like Top Gear Canada? Well, today we're taking snowcats.
What we got?
Dog sled versus snowcats, yeah.
The only problem that Canada
We're gonna
had.
do ice racing with Yugos. It's great.
The only reason why I think we don't have Top Gear is because we don't have any car manufacturing. Like, we don't have any Canadian brand vehicles except for electric. Like, we don't have.
They're made out of really cheap plastic. That includes our luxury cars.
Oh, Cadillac's getting better.
Cadillac, made by the lowest bidder.
Oh,
No, I'm
Cadillac.
serious. I actually sat down at one place I worked.
Cadillac is a Canadian brand.
Yeah, I actually worked in an anodizing line, anodizing Cadillac pistons. And I was barely getting minimum wage.
Fuck.
Okay, I was doing like $1 more, but still. It was a summer job, of course, but and, you know, you look at that, and yeah, Cadillac, not a good car. Well, way overpriced anyway.
Well, they're getting better. What's another good?
Yeah,
well,
I'll tell you, some of the newer caddies, you know, they've got some neat cars out there, but it's a niche market. It always has been.
Yep.
Yeah.
I will tell you, the niche market is those that are over 60.
Like Lincoln's gone downhill, Buick's gone downhill.
Buick with their new marketing
Even the
campaign,
boss thing about
they're after young people. Yeah, it's always going to be an old people car.
Like their what is it, the MKX? That looks like an all-right vehicle. But how much is that thing worth up here? Probably 70 grand, probably.
Okay, 70 grand at 80 cents to the dollar.
My wife even talked about buying a Cadillac for a while, and then instead she fell in love with her Jeep Wrangler. Now, don't get me wrong, this is the damn near $50,000 leather-seated, fully tricked out Jeep Wrangler, but it was really between a Jeep Wrangler and the Cadillac.
She made the right choice.
And my wife decided that she wanted to be able to drive up the side of a building, which I did not discourage her from one bit.
It was still probably cheaper than the Cadillac.
Maybe.
No, it's still, no matter what you say, it's still going to be cheaper than the Cadillac, just on repairs.
Option for option, minus four-wheel drive. But option for option, as far as like luxury accoutrement, yes, probably cheaper than the Cadillac.
Plus, then you got to pay, anytime you have anything repair work done on it, you pay out the ass too.
Yeah, which is one of the reasons that I'm not in a hurry to sell my truck. I have a 2008 Dodge Ram. Absolutely love that truck. It's great. and it still has the whole lifetime powertrain warranty, which I haven't had to use yet. In fact, I've had nothing go wrong with that truck, and I've had it since '08. That does something to me. I'm not in a hurry to replace it. When I do replace it, we might turn into a 2 Jeep family.
One of the reasons I went with the Camry is not so bad to maintain, and because there's so many frickin' out there, their parts are always available. My father foolishly bought a Chrysler in '89. Chrysler, excuse me, it was an Eagle, but still a Chrysler.
So what you're saying is that the Toyota Camry is the Glock of the car world.
Well, then you got the Hondas too. Hondas and Toyotas, basically, yeah.
Okay, Hondas and Toyotas. Okay,
Glock M&P.
They're Glocks.
Yeah,
okay, M&P. Yeah, kind of.
You have to separate the two companies.
This is why I don't like either of them. So I own a Glock. I've had a few over the years. So I still have one, and I'm not even quite sure why I have it. It doesn't do as good a job as my XDS 45 compact. I've got a Glock 30S. It's still fatter in the handle. It's really not as good a gun. I don't know why I haven't sold it yet, but I haven't.
I will tell you, I'd still be driving around in an Olds 88 from 1989 if it hadn't cost me more to repair it than the car was worth.
This might have been the car that I learned to drive in. I'm not sure. I think it was. It was an Olds Toronado, big old V8 Oldsmobile.
Yeah, this was a V6. It was still getting mid-20s city driving, which almost beats my Camry. Wasn't a gas guzzler at all.
Back when the Oldsmobile was around, we didn't worry about gas mileage too much because, it was still 99 cents a gallon.
Yeah, I had that Oldsmobile until 2011.
I mean, I was chapped when, actually it was more like 89 cents a gallon. I was chapped when gas got over $1 a gallon.
Me too. And now it's creeping back here towards $3 a gallon. I'm getting pissed. Yeah, my grandmother originally owned that Olds, and when she passed away, it was given to me. And she passed away in the 90s. So I had that thing for almost 15 years.
Up to about 2 weeks ago, gas was under $1 a liter. Now it's $1.15.
And what? 20 liters is 5 gallons. Is that right? Roughly.
5 gallons is about 25 liters. 20 liters is 5 gallons.
Yeah, I almost go like it's almost 4 liters to a gallon.
Yeah. So more than $1 a liter? God, that's ridiculous.
And we produce it.
Well, and one thing that a lot of people don't realize is the U.S. here, even though our taxes on gasoline are ridiculous, way more than they ever should be, are far less than most countries. When you go to Europe, for example,
yeah,
the fuel prices there are ridiculous. When I was stationed there, we would buy fuel stamps at the PX on base so that we could go out and drive around Germany or, a lot of the NATO countries, and, you hand in your fuel stamps in lieu of paying cash for your gas, because our status of forces agreement, from basically being the people that won World War II, still meant that we didn't have to pay their gas taxes, so we got them at basically U.S. type rates.
But also,
the occasional time when you wound up pulling into a gas station and you didn't have any fuel stamps on you, you paid out the nose to put some gas in your tank, and you would only put in enough to get yourself back to post so you could get more fuel stamps.
But also the thing is, you have higher quality fuel, much higher quality fuel.
That's scary.
Like our premium, which is what, 97 is super supreme, so premium is 91 octane.
It's generally about 91 to 93 octane here for premium, but octane doesn't mean that you have better gas. Remember, as octane rating goes up, efficiency of the fuel goes down. All octane does is reduce the potential for detonation or knock. This is why aircraft use 100 octane leaded fuel.
Yeah.
Because all the variations in altitude, and having detonation in the cylinders, kind of catastrophic to air-cooled aircraft engines. So we use 100 octane gas in those. But with cars, the octane rating is really tied to the compression of the engine, just as it is in airplanes, but more critical because of the altitude variances. Just because you have a higher octane rating doesn't mean that the fuel is any better. It actually means that the fuel has more additives to bring down the combustion rate of the fuel. It actually slows the flame front when you ignite the fuel. You are less efficient with a higher octane rating. You'll get more gas mileage out of regular gas than you will out of high test.
Well, depending on how your vehicle is made.
No, not depending at all. We're talking about volumetric efficiency of the fuel when it comes to what kind of mileage rating you get.
Because with my pickup, I get worse mileage on regular than I do premium. And my truck, it says on the fuel cap, premium fuel only.
That's because you've got a 4 or 6 cylinder engine, right?
No, I got a V8.
You have a V8. Do you have a damn supercharger in that thing?
No, 6.2 liter Chevy engine.
That thing must be running high compression, because that's the only way that works.
It's dummied down Stingray engine.
Yeah, and what it is that
they took a Stingray. Okay, yeah, you're running high compression in that engine. That's the only reason why that works.
Yeah, some engines are designed like the Mini Cooper. You can only use premium gas in that. So.
Right, because they're running high compression.
Exactly.
High compression cylinders.
Yeah, actually, most cars right now perform better on 87 octane because that's what they're designed for. The engines are designed for that.
Again, like he was saying, it depends on the engine, and
Yep.
really all it comes down to is what is the compression ratio of your cylinders.
Yeah, like the European cars, like this goes back to their fuel quality. like the quality of the European fuel is just out to lunch. Like you take, let's say, let's just say a Corvette, and you fill it up with premium fuel in North America, it'll have about 50 to 75 less horsepower than if you fueled it up with premium fuel in the UK.
Of course, one of the worst things that we ever did in the U.S. is all these places mandating at least 10% ethanol in your fuel.
Yeah, mid-grade and under.
Just, oh no, we put it in the premium in a lot of states here in the U.S.
In Canada,
ruining engines.
Up here in Canada, we're not allowed to put biofuel in premium.
Yeah. Here in the U.S., it's 10%
Thank
ethanol
you,
and a
Carl.
bunch of the, even in the premium fuel, and especially with a lot of the classic cars and stuff like that, it's absolutely ruining engines.
Oh yeah, engines, fuel pumps, fuel lines.
Well, we got to put hardened valve seats in the valves and everything.
You can actually thank
it makes the gas more expensive.
Yeah.
And the reason why we have it is corn growers.
Right.
We're lobbying the government to pass that law.
Exactly. It doesn't help your engine. It does not help the environment. It's using biomass to create fuel. There's no scientific sense to it. Now, what ethanol does do is change, again, your volumetric efficiency of your fuel. If I had a 100% ethanol vehicle, okay, I'm going to get a pretty decent flame out of that thing. I'm going to be able to run a car pretty well. But it's not as powerful as regular gasoline is. So, for example, you put it in an airplane. You can expect a 15% reduction in range if you use 10% ethanol fuel. And that's if even your engine will take it when you're talking about an aircraft. And there's really not much difference between an airplane engine and a car engine other than cooling method. And they keep the airplane engines a whole lot lighter.
Yeah, until about 2000.
The other bad thing about ethanol is that it attracts moisture, which is why it's completely incompatible with using an aircraft, because moisture differentials, and then you start gaining altitude and things get cooler, and all of a sudden you've got, instead of fuel in your tanks, you have slush because it starts to freeze way earlier.
Yeah, it was in 2007 or 8 that they basically forced all the gas stations to switch from, going with that, it was an option. You could either go with the ethanol stuff or not, and they finally forced it.
It depends on your state.
Yeah, they finally forced
really
the last.
State to state.
Yeah, the last 2 gas stations were finally forced to go to it. And the only reason they were staying in business is because one was on the east side, one was on the west side, and people would go to that gas station instead. That's the only reason why they stayed in business, because both of them were shithole, convenience stores that were old and pretty much run down. That's the only reason why they stayed in business, because they had to compete with Quick Trips and the fancy convenience stores.
I mean, the ethanol fuel, I had to rebuild the carburetor on my motorcycle because the switch to ethanol just started eating away at the rubber seals and gaskets and diaphragms in the carburetor of my motorcycle. Just ruined it. I had to rebuild the whole damn thing.
Well, that killed the chat.
What was that?
Next, we'll talk about the favorite dielectric in capacitors.
Oh, we had a couple people jump in here. You know, Scott, who got a 2 cents in a couple of times, and Will. So I haven't heard Will yet.
I'm over here shopping.
Shopping?
Yep.
Internet's
Shopping.
about the only place open right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm shopping for grenade launchers.
For?
Lee Enfield.
Ooh. Good luck.
Oh, I found one.
Oh,
$100.
not bad. You got 303 British blanks?
No, but I can get them. I just want it for, yeah, just for show anyway. Just to have.
They're cool.
Well, you can get the soda can launchers a lot cheaper.
Oh, I know. But I want the... Here, I'll show you.
Yeah, I almost got one for my Yugo SKS that would launch golf balls. I thought that would have been so much fun, but then I couldn't find blanks at the time, and I'm like, nope.
There.
Well, the gun wasn't very accurate, so it would have been just fun to be able to shoot golf balls.
Yeah,
But then I
ended up,
sold the gun, so it was no loss, really.
yeah, I ended up picking a #1 Mark III off of a buddy at work. It's actually one of the grenade launching Lee Enfields.
Nice. You know you're going to have to get the fake grenade to go in there.
Yeah, I know.
You're turning into Chris.
Well, I was hoping Chris was going to be on tonight to help me find them, but I ended up finding one.
You got the appropriate bayonet?
Nope, that's what else I'm hunting for.
You need to get the appropriate frog for the bayonet. Did it come with the original sling?
Nope.
Another thing you're going to have to get.
Yep. Posted a picture of it on the main page.
Don't forget you're going to need the oiler.
Man. Just keep adding to the list, Corey.
They made brass oilers. They're not that expensive. They're like 20-some bucks on eBay, I think. Because I can't remember what else came with the Enfield. I think it had its own cleaning kit, too. Yes, it did. But thankfully, that's basically all. You know, as long as it's got its original sights, and they didn't.
Yeah, it's got its original site.
If you want it complete, that's what you need.
Oh, I know. Here's the rifle.
Nice. What does it have wrapped around there? String?
Nope,
Wire?
it's wire bands.
Oh, wire bands. Okay.
They used it to strengthen the stock for the grenade launching.
Gotcha. It looked like twine.
Yep.
Nice gun.
Yeah, because when I first saw it, I was like, what the hell is that? And he's like, I was told that was for stock strengthening for grenade launching. I was like, well, shit. I was like,
I did not know about that.
I was like, now I'm going to have to buy a grenade launcher.
And a bayonet and a frog. And
Yeah,
a kit and an oiler and the sling.
Yeah, it's got the bayonet lug under there. That was the first thing I saw.
Yeah, the pig sticker is the most common, but it's not for that gun.
Right.
I think I actually took a bladed, if I remember correctly, it's a bladed bayonet.
Let's see.
Did the GoFundMe raise it anymore, Sean?
Let's see, it was sitting at about $3,000 last time I looked at it. I figured to get through the case, we're gonna need about $5,000. 3,065.
My donation was the last one then. Folks, if I can donate, you can afford to donate. Having your gallbladder out is not cheap, especially when you walk out of the hospital against doctor's orders.
And the good thing is with these cases, we're just having to pay the hard cost. We don't have to pay for the attorneys. Our lawyers work on contingency basis, so they don't get paid unless they win the case, and then the money comes out of the people that we sued. So it really keeps our litigation costs down. Normally we don't put up any kind of a fundraiser on these cases. Normally we just jump in. It's just that we had a hard fight last year, or this year, with the campus carry, the emergency evacuation bill that we passed, and some of the other provisions that we're working on in the legislature. Took a lot of money to do all the lobbying and everything that we had to do. And this coming session, we're bringing back up the campus carry stuff, and we're looking at some open carry legislation where we know that we're going to need somewhere between $50,000 and $75,000 to see all the legislation that we have planned for this coming session starting in September. We're going to need that to see it through. So we're tight on cash.
Now, question is, Eric the attorney on this one?
Yeah, Eric Friday and Leslie McKinney.
I've only met Eric on these chats, so that's what I know.
Yeah, we haven't inflicted Leslie on this yet. And I say inflicted her on this because she is a absolute pit bull. Prior service Navy corpsman, independent duty corpsman. Just absolutely, she is one of the most phenomenal people I know. Right now, she's convalescing. She just came back from donating one of her kidneys to her father.
Oh.
So beyond being just an absolute pit bull, Navy corpsman, and everything that goes along with being an independent duty corpsman, she's also just, she gave a kidney to her dad. Salt of the earth.
Will, you there? Taking that as a no.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, you can speak up anytime. I can't keep the conversation going much longer myself. I'm getting started.
All right, what is this Dukes of Hazzard little race AR you've got going on here?
Oh, I have no idea. I just found the picture on the internet. In fact, I don't know. I'm a Dukes of Hazzard fan. The General Lee. I'm a General Lee fan. More than a Dukes of Hazzard fan. But I just thought it was a neat concept.
Oh, okay. I thought that was yours.
Oh, I could only dream.
I thought you were brewing some shine. So.
Oh, no. Dreaming's not necessary. You don't have to dream.
I wouldn't mind a 1911 with a General Lee type.
Just build. And
well, I got one on my table I'm building right now.
That's just a little Duracoat, you know.
In fact, I ordered a bunch of parts on what was it, Thursday? I ordered a bunch of parts on Thursday.
Or you know, if you like colors, you know.
I like flat dark earth. That's one of my favorite colors.
Is that a pistol, Sean?
No,
SBR.
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 Okay.
No, I ordered a whole bunch of parts, a lot of them off eBay, and it was funny, the very last set of parts I ordered was a parts kit for upper receiver. It was the last thing I ordered on Thursday, and it was also the farthest away in North Carolina, and it came today.
Now, if you want to see irony, the SBR has a longer barrel than the pistol, yet the pistol is longer than the rifle, even though it has a shorter barrel. The SBR has a longer barrel than the pistol, but the pistol's longer. I don't even know how you figure that out if you're the ATF, but that's what they've created.
Yeah, it's sad. You know, it's the ATF. They're fucked up.
Well,
Is that a SIG brace you got on there?
The pistol?
Yeah.
SIG brace.
Yeah, I saw there was some other company making them now too. I can't remember their name.
Yeah, there's a couple now.
Yeah, they're a little cheaper than the SIG brace too.
Yeah, now this one also has the Dolos. Gotta lock it back, but it has the Dolos removable barrel system, which is kind of nice. So you
wow,
can
who makes that?
The barrel just pops right off.
And who makes that system?
You can get them online at Copper Custom. It's the Dolos removable barrel. All you do is you take the gas tube, line it up with the hole on top, drop the whole thing down, and give it a quarter turn, and it's locked in, ready to rock.
Oh, so the handguard actually locks the barrel in.
This is also a side charger, so instead of the standard charging handle, you've got a side charge. But yeah, basically unlock the barrel, so lock the bolt to the rear, quarter turn on the handguard, and out comes the barrel. I'm waiting for Law Tactical to actually start shipping product again, so I can also turn this into a full folding handguard, which of course you can't put on your shoulder. I mean, I'm not sure if I can put it down here or put it up here, but I can't shoot it from here, I'm told.
Or from the cheek, right? You can't cheek wield it? You can't hold
No, you can cheek weld it.
Oh, okay.
It's just not allowed to touch your shoulder while you're firing.
Ah, because that magically turns it into a rifle, right?
Yeah. That means that you've taken your magic wand out and ding, redesigned it into a short-barreled rifle. ATF, good luck with that in court.
has anybody heard of JP Enterprises?
Oh yeah, they make great stuff.
Yeah, the gun store that I go to, they have a couple, and oh, they're gorgeous. But pricey. And I'm definitely interested in one.
Yeah, and before I forget, I want to talk to Sean about the 9th District. You know, they had the hearing this week, wasn't it? Yeah, it was this week, wasn't it?
Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, the appeal of the combined case of Pruitt and Roberts. Yeah, watched the case. There wasn't a lot of signaling there. There was a couple of judges that were definitely against us. There were a couple of them that were definitely for us. The majority didn't say a whole lot. It was a 12-judge panel, and what this is the California shall issue case. This was the case that said that they're prohibitive. You must have a particularized interest in self-defense to get a concealed carry license. This was the case saying that no, you have a right to bear arms, and if you want a license, you should be able to get one. There are some good and bad things about that case. It's got a few technical problems. It has a few things that got technically right. I can see the en banc panel of the court going either way. One of their problems is that they kind of brought the case too early. They brought the case before open carry was banned in California. And when you bring a lawsuit, it doesn't matter what the law is now. What matters is what the law was on the day that you brought the case. Well, since on the day that they brought the case, you couldn't get a concealed carry license easily, but you could openly carry there, although unloaded, without a license, but with the ammo with you. So you could, you guys remember the whole open carry movement there in California, and they really kind of cocked things up. But you could carry openly an unloaded handgun or rifle and have the magazine, in your mag pouch right next to you, so that if something bad happened, you could theoretically load your gun and, do the whole, what's it called, Israeli carry thing. You load your gun and rack it, and now you're ready to rock. That was the law at the time that they brought the case. So some of the judges there are going, well, we're not reviewing this under what the law currently is. We're reviewing it under what the law was at the time that the case was filed. Technically right. It's not good for us. It creates a huge problem. Now, what they're saying is, well, no, we amended and the opposing side agreed that the situation had changed and therefore we should be able to review that under this case. The court has a lot of discretion in how they review that case. So it will either be accepted and go forward and we'll get a decision, or they'll say, nah, we're going to need more evidence, especially in light of the new regulation, and we're going to remand this back to the lower court to develop the record of what the facts currently are. So I can tell you what's about to happen in California with the Pruitt case. It's interesting. It's a well-intended case. It's just, it's not a slam dunk. Here in Florida, we have a similar case. We have our Norman case. This is where we're actually going after the ban on open carry and the fact that you have to even get a license to have any right to bear arms in Florida. We've appealed that to the Florida Supreme Court. We didn't bring it in federal court. We brought it in the state courts. we're waiting to hear if the Florida Supreme Court's even going to consider the case. Might be a few more months before we find out. All told, the state of the right to bear arms in the courts of the United States is a fucking mess, and we're all trying to clean it up.
All right, I got one more question for you, because they brought it up, because I watched most of that too. Was that catch-22, where if you did have a firearm that was loaded and you use it to defend yourself, and, you know, it was, you know, the prosecutor, yeah, that was a self-defense case, then it was fine to carry that gun loaded on a city street. You know.
Was it choppy for you too, Court?
I know I could hear him fine.
Yeah, when I watched it later, I mean, it was just like jumpy and stuttery.
What was jumpy?
The live
YouTube
feed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I watched it the next day.
Oh, I watched it live at the lowest setting.
Okay. Yeah, I watched it the next day on the YouTube channel, and I mean, it was still all choppy and jumpy.
Yeah, I didn't have that issue. It was interesting. That catch-22 was driving me crazy, though.
All right. So what was this catch-22?
Was that it's illegal to carry a loaded firearm, but if you used a loaded firearm, you know, basically in public, you know, on a street, you know, whatever they deemed it. I'm just going to use the on the street because that's what they kept bringing up. Then it was fine if it was actually in self-defense and they, you know, it was proved it was self-defense, so it was fine that you carried a concealed weapon.
Yeah. All right. So this gets into a premise, and remember, guys, I'm not a lawyer. I'm telling you what my layperson understanding of the law is. But so there's a principle called necessity, and what that says is that, say you're threatened, and say you're even a convicted felon. If a convicted felon who has someone shooting at him grabs a gun and returns fire, he can't be convicted of being a felon in possession of a firearm because he only grabbed that firearm out of necessity to defend his life. It's an important legal concept because it creates certain exceptions. Now, when you talk about what can be done under one statute or federal law, you know, federal state statute, as opposed to what can be done or is prohibited under another, they can be vastly different things. So a lot of it sounds like it makes no sense, and a lot of it doesn't make any sense. As I constantly remind my attorneys, law school spends a lot of time beating common sense out of attorneys. And judges are all attorneys.
That makes common sense.
Yeah, it makes common sense once you realize that lawyers are taught not to have common sense.
Well, wow. So, Scott, any luck on finding anything?
Yeah, I found a couple bayonets too.
Awesome. What about the frogs?
I haven't looked for those. Yeah, let me look.
I'm trying to spend somebody else's money since I can't spend my own.
Oh, yeah. Looks like I found a supplier for it.
Cool.
Yeah, $8.99.
Then you need the sling, the cleaning kit, the
Yeah, I know.
oiler, all that good stuff.
Oh,
But
look,
then you'll have a final, complete.
$20 for a sling.
That's not bad.
Yeah, for a leather one.
Oh, that's not bad at all. Because I know that in later models they went to that canvas leather combo.
Right. It's like a khaki or something like that, yeah. Cotton webbing sling.
Yep.
So, what do you guys think of about all aluminum stocks? I posted a link there in the inside chat.
You know, there's not a damn thing wrong with all aluminum stock, other than the fact that it's generally heavier than.
Well, yeah, but I'm looking at getting one for my 22 for bench rest, and just going to be sitting on a bench anyway.
For a bench rest, there's not a whole lot wrong with it. What you do have to contend with when you're talking about aluminum, especially if you're talking about, if you're doing bunghole shooting with a bench gun, and you're trying to do just extreme accuracy, aluminum is very heat sensitive. It moves a lot more than some other metals, and especially moves a lot more than carbon fiber or fiberglass or some of the other materials, or even, I won't say wood, more temperature sensitive than wood, but less humidity sensitive than wood. So aluminum has its place in a stock. It just depends on how it grows and contracts with temperature variation, if you're talking about a bench gun.
Well,
now, for something you're going to shoulder and shoot, doesn't frickin' matter. But
I was thinking about the
world-class bench rest, you might want to think about something a little bit less sensitive.
I was just kind of thinking about, like, a lot of people aluminum bed their rifles, and this is basically a solid block of aluminum bedding. When you bolt your receiver to it, it should be pretty solid. I mean, but you are right about the fluctuation in temperature. But like, how much of a difference, let's say, would be a 70-degree day going out one day and zeroing it in at 70 degrees, and then if you went out the next day and it was 100, like how much would it actually throw off the bullet? Like, I have no idea. Like,
not a lot.
Noticeable?
Not a lot, unless you're into the extreme of marksmanship.
I'm talking sub-half-inch groups at 50 yards, quarter-inch groups at 50 yards. That kind of accuracy.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about. I'm talking about these guys that are shooting,
.009 groups and stuff.
Yeah. Sub tenths.
Yeah. That's not me.
Where you're going to notice. Like I say, the extreme end of accuracy is the only place that you would really notice the difference.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking for something like sub-half-inch groups. That area, quarter to half-inch. That's what I'm really happy with, and that's what I'm capable of. I'm not really capable of anything better than that.
I mean, look, this one here. Remington 308 police model, pretty much off the shelf. I've done very little work on that gun. It's a 3rd-inch shooter all day long. If I get behind the glass and slow down my breathing, and I'm talking on an Atlas bipod with an Atlas rear monopod, not even fully on the sandbags and really rested in, that is a 1/3 of an inch gun. And that's an aluminum bedded, HS Precision stock that I've done minimal work to.
Now, when you aluminum bed, like a wood stocked or a fiberglass stocked rifle, now does that aluminum bedding fluctuate with the temperature like an aluminum stock would, or more or less?
No, because we're talking about, when you're talking about aluminum bedding, you're talking about a piece of metal about yay long. It has a lot less room to flex. The longer something is when it's metal, or really any material, the more variation you're going to have over that space. So say I've got a 2-foot long chunk of metal that may vary 1/10 of an inch over temperature extremes. As I get to the middle of that portion in the middle is not going to vary a whole 1/10 of an inch. It's going to vary, something on an order of magnitude much smaller within that little space. But the difference between a hole here and a hole here might be a whole 1/10, which would really throw something off. But as you reduce that base, you reduce the possibility of variance.
Yeah, that makes total sense. That place that's selling those all aluminum stocks is pretty close to me, and they actually have some blemish, scratch and dent ones, and $79, $89, and $99 depending on which ones.
Hey, I mean, if that's what you're looking for, then go for it. It depends on what you want.
It's going on like what, $130 gun anyway. I mean, it's not like it's going on an Anschutz or a CZ or something. It's it's just going on a Savage. So
yeah, I mean, hell, I'd give it a shot.
Yeah, I figure it couldn't hurt. I'd be interested in trying one.
If you like the stock, you can get it at a good price. Then hell yeah, go for it. At worst, it doesn't work out for you, and you're out whatever you can.
Yeah, $79, $89, and they're selling for like $200.
Yeah, you're not even out that, because you can turn around and resell it and get all your money back. Go for it.
So I finally put my 22 barrel on my air rifle today and shot it with the 22 barrel for the first time. I was pretty impressed. It was penetrating 2-liter bottles full of water with ease.
And I put a rifle scope on my BB gun a while back. Cranked it all the way to the bottom and still can barely get the BB to match up.
Hey, I found that you got to have the most important thing on a scope for an air rifle is adjustable objective to help fix the parallax at close range, because most rifle scopes are.
The important thing on that thing is like a 40 MOA base.
Yeah. Well, a lot of airgun scopes have a lot of adjustment. I actually use an airgun scope on my 223, on my Savage 223, and I can zero it at 1,000 yards with no holdover, and that's no joke. And that's with the 55 grain Remington 100-round bulk box bullet. I can zero it at 1,000 yards with no holdover. and that's with an air gun scope. So they usually have a lot more extreme elevation range than what rifle scopes do.
You were putting that aluminum stock on a 22, Will?
Yeah, it's a Savage Mark II. That's what they're made for, is Savage Mark IIs and Savage Mark the 93s.
Okay. And you don't like wood?
Well, I don't have wood. I have synthetic stocks on both of mine, on both my Savages.
Okay.
So, and it's just that kind of hollow, cheap synthetic. My one Savage is 20 years old. I paid $99 for it at Walmart when I was 18. And my other Savage I just bought a little while ago. It has the newer Accu trigger and all that. And I don't know, just though they're kind of my main target plinking rifles. So.
Yeah. See, I've always liked, the wood.
Well, my Marlin Model 60 has wood, and so does my Ruger. My Ruger has my Ruger has a laminate, I guess, a Boyd laminate.
Right.
So I don't know if that counts as wood or not.
Yeah, that's what what I just posted on the side. That's what those are.
Are the Boyd stocks? Yeah. That's what I put on my 1022 as a Boyd. And I like it. It's a nice stock. It looks really neat. Mine's like a nice green color, but. I don't know, just kind of going for something different,
Right.
I'm also kind of looking for one of those L96 stocks for a Mosin Nagant. That kind of makes it look like an L96.
Yeah, I always wanted to get one of those for one of my Chinese Mosins. Type 56.
Yeah, I can't remember where I originally saw the L96 stock. I've seen like the Archangels for the Mosins, but someone made the L96, and I just can't find it anymore. I've done a couple internet searches, and I can't even. I can see them used, like pictures, but not for sale. Yeah, the AICS 1.5 mod. I think that's the one I saw. Let's see, AICS 1.5.
I'm not seeing any.
I found one for a Remington 700, but they want $800 for the stock. That's more than the Remington 700 that's going to go in it. So
All right, gentlemen. Well, I need to be up in the morning to help our lawyers with finishing up the complaint against the City of Tampa for abusing our member. So I'm headed for bed. Y'all have a good evening.
Yep. See you, Sean.
all right, have a good night.
So what is it you're dropping into the stock?
A Mosin Nagant
Okay.
9130 with a bent bolt. And it's the full length, like a 26-inch barrel and everything. Yeah, uncut. And I can't remember the name, but someone had L96 stocks for a Mosin Nagant. They were making them, and they were asking like $250, I think. And my friend bought one actually, for his Mosin, and man, and I've always liked that L96 look. I like it a lot more than that Archangel look.
Check out bank.
Oh yeah.
You get to pick your wood also.
Oh wow. Yeah, that is nice. Cherry, walnut, walnut stain, commie red.
Yep.
Oh, that's nice. Oh yeah, thanks. I'm saving this. Lucky Shot Woodstocks, huh? Okay, save that. That is some good internet searching there. That is a nice price. Wasn't it got L96 A1? Wow, look at that one. They got a couple different ones. That one's only $150, and it has the scope mounts on it with the scope. Yeah. Wow.
That
Wow.
SV98 design, that one looks pretty neat.
The SV98. Oh, let's see that one. Oh yeah. Oh, adjustable cheek comb and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. See, that's what I want. Is something more to kind of use the Mosin as a little bit of a target shooter, you know.
Right.
At some long distances, because I know some guys here that shoot theirs at 600, 800, and even 1,000 yards. They drive out here in the desert and they drop off a great big 2x2 piece of steel and then use their GPS and drive about 1,000 yards away, sometimes even farther, and then sit back and shoot it. You know?
Yeah.
Listen for that gong. I really like that one. That SV98. Yeah, that's only 150. 175 for the walnut. Cherry looks good. Especially that walnut almost looks like a flat dark earth color anyway, you know, that's like natural camouflage.
Right.
And that's what I like too, is that the L96 usually all have a FDE stock, and I'm out in the desert anyway. I shoot mostly out in the desert with nothing but sagebrush and stuff around and dirt, and so that FDE blends in really well.
Ooh, wait a
Ooh, a K31 hybrid stock. For the
Sega
Swiss.
Sega Dranko stock set. Damn, that looks nice.
For a Sega,
Yeah.
like a 12 gauge. Sega or the AK-47 Sega, or like the shotguns
For the AK.
for the AK. I don't know anything about AKs, man. The only thing I know about AKs is my SKS isn't one. That's about all I know.
Stock set. I doubt these would fit on mine now.
Mosin Nagant, Dragunov style. That was like metal side plates to hold the wood together or something. That's Mosin Nagant sniper stock. Oh, that's just like a weighted pistol grip stock. That's not. Man, these are some good prices.
Yeah.
And these are actual wood, not laminate, right?
Yeah, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, hardwood. Yeah. Wow. 98 5-star reviews. I believe it. They look nice. Thank you, dude. I think I ended up getting one of these.
Yep, no problem. I'll throw that in the external.
Yes. They make Ruger. They make 1022 stocks. SKS. Well, they make SKS stocks.
Yep. I was going to say that second link, you get to see all of them.
Fury 1 and 2. Asumi M31 stock. Sega.
K31s. Mausers. Ruger 1022s. L96 for a 1022.
I don't know. I don't kind of that gun. It's just not big enough. I don't like the look of that. It looks kind of square and blocky for how small it is. No, the one I'm really digging right now is that the SV98 for the Mosin Nagant. Comes with recoil pad and bottom foreign rail for the bipod. That'll be perfect.
What? You go potty? Yeah, let me let these dogs out real quick.
Right. SKS some holes. The SKS stock looks pretty good. SKS Model M. I'm going to read some of these guys' feedback.
A Suomi M31 thumbhole stock.
I don't even know what that is. I saw that too. I was like, what is that? It's like some kind of grease gun or something?
That's why I'm going to look it up.
Looks like, sounds Japanese. Like maybe it's like a Japanese grease gun.
It's a
Their
submachine
version
gun.
of a brand or something.
Oh, actually, it's from Finland.
Oh, Finland. Okay.
It's a Finnish submachine gun from World War II.
So my upper receiver from ATI should be here on Monday after 2 months.
Cool.
I'm excited. All it took was a phone call, and they're like, "Oh yeah, here it is." Their computer system over there, something's messed up. I guess it's showing items out of stock that are really in stock, and I guess they automatically send you a message or something when you order an item, and it turns out it's out of stock. And
Yeah, I should be getting all my magazines and everything on Monday.
yeah, I just ordered a couple mags from cheaper than dirt.
Ooh.
So
Yeah, I'll never buy from them.
I don't buy from them too often, but they had mags on sale, and they were like $7.99 a piece. I just really couldn't pass it up. So for a couple cheap mags. What was your experience with cheaper than dirt? Because I've bought them from them a couple times, but they're not like I buy off Amazon or eBay more than I do them. But once in a while when they have a really killer deal, and no one else is beating it at the time, yeah, I will buy stuff from them.
Yeah, I'd bought a 1911 off of them.
A full gun?
Oh yeah, a couple years ago. But when that ammo, when 2012, when Sandy Hook happened, they raised their prices on all their ammo and everything.
Yep.
Yeah, that was it.
And
Hell, just this past when that M80 855 or 885 or whatever ban
Scare?
was ban scare. They sit there and
raised all their prices 300%.
Yeah, there's no way I'll give them any money.
But you know what? Brownells has done the same thing. Not as excessive as cheaper than dirt, but Brownells right now is selling 22 ammo at 12 cents a round. I can go buy it from the scalpers for 10 cents a round. From the guys that are just buying it, standing in line at Walmart every morning to get it. I can buy it from them for 10 cents a round, and Brownells has it for 12 cents a round right now. So Brownells is, gouging people too. So
yeah, I still get mine from Walmart. So
yeah, that's what I do. Is I check Walmart all the time, go in there, and one day they might have CCI Quiet, the next Velociter, the next Remington, who knows? I just take whatever my 3 boxes of whatever I can get, and I'm happy. But right now I'm probably down to only, I don't know, maybe 15, 20,000, 22 rounds. I'm pretty much shooting more than what I can find and buy right now.
Yeah.
Once in a while, I'll find a good deal from a scalper for 8 cents a round, and I'll pay 8 cents a round from a scalper for it. But that's really honestly about 8.1 cents a round or so. That's about as much as I pay for it. That I'm willing to pay for it.
Right.
And that's why I've been into air guns lately, and I've been buy a whole 500 pack of premium pellets for $10 for 500, of 22 cal premium pellets. The 177 is even cheaper.
I need to pick up a couple air rifles.
Oh gosh, I got I came across a pretty good one for $99, brand new, and it seems pretty nice for the money. I mean, I have a Chinese B3 that's probably a little bit better, more accurate of a shooter, but this Beeman RS2 dual caliber that comes with both barrels.
Mm-hmm.
I just barely put the 22 barrel on it today, not even broke in. I mean, it's not. Here, I'll show you. I'll grab the target. Okay. Let me see. Turn on this camera. Okay. Let's see. You can see that. These are 25 shots, the very first shots out of the 22 barrel at 25 yards, including having to sight in, because I was shooting over here and I worked my way up and over to get it sighted in. But right when I ended sighting in, all my group, like that whole big hole right there, that ivory pellet was going right here. So I was pretty happy with that. And that was the 22 cal barrel. The 170, and that was with Crossman Premiers. And the 177 cal barrel, I'm not too happy with yet, but I haven't tried that many pellets. All I've tried is a couple daisies and DNS magnums. But at 25 yards, this is kind of the group I was getting. So not too impressive with the 177 barrel, but like I said, I haven't tried that many pellets with that one yet. But right away with the Crossman Premiers, this thing is already grouping in the size of less than a dime at 25 yards. So I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, it's definitely more than capable at an earshot, like on a squirrel at 25 yards, and for a $99 rifle, I can't complain about it at all. Not at all. And in my experience, all the Springers I've had, they shoot better after like 500 rounds. And though that was the very first 25 shots out of the rifle right there, so I'm ecstatic. One of these days I'm going to get a PCP. I'm going to step up, spend the money, and get one of those like $500-600 PCP, a nice one. But right now, Springers are what I've had, underlevers and brake barrels, and I like them both.
Yeah, I can't see paying that much for a air rifle.
Yeah, the PCP guys though, some of those guys shoot dime-sized groups at 100 yards, and I mean hit birds on the fly. If you've ever watched Ted's Holdover on YouTube, amazing channel. He hunts feral birds and pigeons on farmers' land and stuff, and he has scope cams and just like amazing footage. Really slow-mo, detailed, high-end camera, like awesome channel. And that's what he mainly shoots is PCPs, but he's a real big air gun guy.
Yeah.
He's probably the most popular air gunner on YouTube, I'd say, is that Ted's holdover. But for me personally, like especially like for my Chinese air rifle, it was $99 tuned, professionally tuned, and for this one it was 99. And for my Beeman R1, I paid like $240 for that. And this thing's shooting better than my $240 Beeman, and I paid 99 bucks at Walmart for it. So, how can you complain really? Other than the scope that comes with it's garbage. You got to take it off and just throw it away. Or shoot it. Try your little sniper thing and see how far, try and shoot through the scope. I think I found the ultimate survival rifle. Right here. Like, it has to be like the ultimate survival rifle ever.
Pack rifle kit.
Yeah, it uses a cricket, a receiver and barrel from the kids' crickets. Like my son and stepdaughter has them, and it just uses the receiver and barrel and bolt from one of those, and it's neat. Packs right down. Like one little what do you call them? Kind of screws. I can't think. It's too late. The little with the ears on them, and so you can just undo it by hand. And I mean, it's basically the stock is just a tube.
So.
Yeah, 15-ounce total weight with the rifle and stock, everything. Like the whole kit comes to 15 ounce. Like the whole thing is 15 ounce. The whole gun, like less than a pound.
Carbon fiber tube stock.
Yeah.
Let me let these dogs back in real quick.
All right.
Never seen two dogs that just want to play so much.
I think that is an excellent survival rifle. You don't need any magazines. It's a single shot, and I know how good and reliable the crickets are because we've had one for 8 years and then a second one for 6 years, and I've shot the hell out of them. And but you don't need anything extra. Super lightweight, small, compactable. I mean, just to stick in a backpack or something.
Yeah.
A bug out gun, survival rifle, whatever you want to call it. I think that's an excellent option right there for to have one in a backpack. You know, that pretty much, that kit looks like it pretty much uses all the trigger part, all the cricket part, except for maybe the trigger guard and the stock.
Yep.
Um,
All it is just one
I
screw
wonder
and
if you could just get like a wooden dowel and just, you know,
yeah,
and a
pretty much.
chisel, and yeah, and really, you know, they went fancy. They went with carbon fiber, but really a wooden dowel, you could make your own takedown. That wouldn't be illegal, would it, to convert your rifle to a takedown?
I don't know. I'm not up on those.
Yeah, I'm only up on the AR laws between the pistols and the rifles, and I'm up on that, and that's about it. Just because I don't want to accidentally make an SBR or some crap, and then all of a sudden have feds at my door. You know, I saying, "Hey, you posted a picture on Instagram of an SBR. You know, where's your license?" You know, I don't want any of that kind of crap. So I make sure I really know the difference between what they consider the pistol and the rifle and the lengths, and you know. That company actually makes all sorts of kind of outdoor gear, a lot of carbon fiber stuff, carbon fiber pole jacks, carbon fiber tent spikes, carbon fiber everything, titanium tent stakes, oh, titanium pots.
Yes, 130. Yeah, looks like they're getting more stuff added to the Kalishnikov USA website. Finally.
I've never been there. Kalishnikov
USA.com.
USA.com. I'm surprised I actually spelled Kalishnikov right. Let's see here. Russian Heritage, American Innovation. Tactical shotgun. Well, that looks like a Sega. One of those Sega shotguns, those AK shotguns. You know, that'll probably be my first AK style gun I buy. It'll probably be one of those 12 gauges. Or a 20 gauge. Yeah, with the AKs, you got to worry about that 922R stuff, right? That's where most parts have to be.
Well, see, that's why they moved a plant. That's why they're building over here.
So then they can make whatever they want, right?
Yep.
And what is I can't remember, what is the 922 thing? Like, so many parts have to be USA, or so many have to be Russian, or what?
So many has to be, you have to have so many US made parts in it.
In it? Okay.
That's why they replaced the triggers, the barrels, stuff like that.
And what changes when what prevents you like if you bought the gun like that, right, and it was 922R compliant, after you purchased it later on, if you bought a barrel that was Russian and put it in it,
Then you throw it out of 922R compliant, and you can get federal charges on you.
wow, just for changing a barrel.
Yep.
That doesn't change the way the gun shoots or nothing. Like,
Nope. I mean, if you would put a Russian trigger in it, back into it, instead of the tap code triggers, then
wow. So basically, you're saying if you want to buy an AK, an American AK is probably the way to go?
I don't know.
Because then you don't got to mix between Russian and American parts. It's like just all American.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be safe, then yeah, but I can't say anything because I've got a Yugo AK. And I was actually looking at one of those arsenals.
The arsenals with the milled receiver.
Let me see if it's I think it's stamped. Let me see.
That's what my buddy told me I need to buy. Like he bought one and he is just like, I mean, it is just, to him it is like the holy grail of AKs. He's just, dude, this gun. I mean, he can go on about it for hours about how good this milled AK is, dude. How reliable, accurate, everything. It's just he thinks it's the greatest thing since apple pie.
Let's see. SLR 120. 107. Pretty sure this is a stamp. Yeah, stamped receiver.
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with stamped receivers. That's what I was trying to tell him. Like when we were out at the range shooting it, he has like a Zastava, like 85 or 75 or something, or MPAP, OPAP, something. I don't know the AKs. I don't know hardly anything about them, but I know it was a Zastava.
If he's got no PAP, then he's got the good one because it's got the RPK receiver in it.
The RPK? Well, yes. He was shooting that, and then he was shooting the Arsenal, and I couldn't tell, the same shooter, I couldn't tell a difference in accuracy. He was at, 50 yards, he was shooting, with the open sights, probably a good 3-4 inch group. And, I couldn't tell a difference in his accuracy. I couldn't tell a difference in which they both fed reliable. I was just like, okay. I don't see a problem with stamped receivers.
Yep. That's how they were originally made.
Yeah. Maybe if you're firing them full auto, I could see like some of those rivets and stuff maybe loosening them up or something over time, over excessive rounds and heating and stuff. But I think for the average like American owner that's just going to use them at the range and stuff like that, I don't think they like. I think they would probably last the average person the rest of their life.
Yep.
I mean, I don't ever see. I don't think I could wear one out. I've actually only worn out one gun in my whole life, and that was a Marlin 22, and that was probably from cleaning it more than anything.
Yeah, here's the one that I've got.
Let's see. Century Arms Estava M70 OPAP. Yeah, that looks just like his, except his has darker wood. I don't know. They all look the same to me, man. I can't tell the difference. You know, I mean, I can tell you the difference in ARs by looking at them, and you know, I'm into ARs, but AKs, I've never owned one. I don't know anything about them really, other than you know they're really reliable, and that's about it.
Yep. Yep.
They like to be dirty. That you know, you can put bacon on them and ice cream and shoot them.
Yeah.
With bacon and ice cream. You know? Inside the receiver. You know.
So I take it you watch Matt V 2099's videos too, huh?
Oh yeah, him and FPS Russia's done a couple, and I don't watch a lot of TV at all. Like, and when I do, it's just like a specific movie that I want to watch. But like, I don't watch any local news, any bullshit TV show, reality. I mean, once in a great while, I'll watch like the universe on like the History Channel or Discovery Channel or something. But other than that, I watch YouTube documentaries and gun channels. That's my TV. So, I subscribe to over 200 different gun channels.
Do what now?
What's that?
What'd you say?
I said I'm probably subscribed to over 200 different gun channels on YouTube. Oh. That's all I watch. And documentaries. I like to watch a lot of conspiracy documentaries, ancient aliens, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Not necessarily because I believe in it, but I don't know. There's something about it. Some things make you think, and some things it's just totally fun to laugh at.
Yeah, I never get to watch anything. I don't even watch TV.
It rots your brain anyway. That's why I like the stuff that's actually informative, that I can actually learn something, either documentaries or, you know, gun stuff that I'm into, my interest, you know, that makes me happy.
Yep. I don't think anybody else is going to be jumping in here, so I think I'm going to go watch a movie.
Yeah, I'm going to hop off too. About time to turn in. So, all right, man. You have a good night, dude.
Yep, you too, man. I'll see you tomorrow night.
All right.
Bye.